Hi, everybody. You should, in theory, be able to unmute. If someone would like to test that, I would appreciate it.
I can unmute.
Oh, good. Excellent. All right. So I am tag teaming for Greg. You know, there's something related to holidays going on tonight. And then my daughter also gave me a very convenient cold that came on abruptly after lunch today. So that's been super exciting. So in theory, this should be a short meeting. We're going to wait a couple more minutes as people jump on. If you guys have any questions in the meantime, feel free to drop them in the Q&A area. I don't see any currently, so. And then I demand that everyone tell me your favorite Thanksgiving dish. And so my favorite was sweet potato, ginger, honey, sweet potato thing. It was really good. There's sweet potatoes, honey, and ginger. There we go. Who's next? I'm going to start picking on people. All right. Justin, Nick, Chris, go first. Justin.
Hopes it helps if I unmute my actual microphone.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
I'm going to have to say potato casserole.
All right. Chris?
Pecan pie.
Oh. Nick? Well.
Hi.
Hi.
I was trying to put it in the chat and it won't let me.
It's okay.
I like ham. I love ham for Thanksgiving. No one likes
Solid.
turkey.
All right. We'll do Aiden, Kristen, and then Rena. So, Aiden, what's your side preference, favorite side for Thanksgiving? Green bean casserole, solid. Kristen?
Amish corn is kind of like a cornbread casserole.
Yum. All right. Rena, you should be able to unmute without any issues. Yeah.
I was dealing with the dog. I forgot it was my turn.
No worries.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, excellent. EO,
Real mashed potatoes.
Good. EO, we are sharing our favorite Thanksgiving sides as we wait for people to arrive. If you could share your favorite side, I would appreciate it.
Say sweet potato casserole for me.
Now, here's the question. Is it sweet potato casserole? Does that include marshmallows or is it like something different?
For us, it's usually like walnuts and brown sugar.
Delicious. Amazing. All right, everybody. I am going to hit the many present buttons on this screen and slide. Okay, hang on. Doot. 1 second. No one can see my screen yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, 1 second. Nope, you can't. Not yet. You can do it, Renee. All right. Did I do it? All right. I think we're.
We can see it now.
Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. So welcome to our lightly attended December mentor call, which is probably because I have not had an opportunity to send out a reminder email for the upcoming calls since definitely before Thanksgiving. So the good news is that we do have a number of the calls basically through build season up on the website for FRC, and so you are welcome to go RSVP for those upcoming events, so you can keep getting these glorious updates as they come along. So we have a couple of team reminders that Greg wanted to highlight. Some highly intelligent people pre-wrote a list of things we wanted to remind teams about, and so that we could just reference it. So that was exciting. But the Seven Rivers Robotics Coalition Training Day, if Austin was here, he would tease me about that. I think it's robot. Seven Rivers Robot Coalition. Training Day is taking place on Saturday. We have a couple of FLL and FTC volunteer needs I wanted to highlight. FRC kickoff is coming up, and then we have ways to get involved with First Wisconsin now with updates. So FRC, so the training day is this Saturday at Western Technical College. I had the pleasure of going to Western Technical College and doing a first tech challenge professional development training with Tim. It was awesome. They have a really cool new space at WTC, and so I highly recommend, anyone who is on the western half of the state or even the eastern half of the state, if you're able to make the event, go to the event. Sign up information is located there. I'll drop it into the chat at the end so that you can reference it. So yay, training. All right, we are very busy with our FLL and FTC events this season. So this Saturday we will have an event taking place. It's the Thumbs event. And so that'll take place on Saturday, but we are good to go in terms of most of our volunteers there. After that, we have the weekend of the 14th, which I would say is definitely a crazy first weekend. So we not only have 2 FLL sectionals taking place, one in Mukwonago and one in Oak Creek, but we also have our Frozen Frenzy FTC qualifying tournament taking place December 14th. And then we also have our Frozen Frenzy number 2 FTC qualifying tournament taking place on December 15th. So there is so much robots all weekend long. So in terms of Mukwonago and Oak Creek sectionals, I was told that they needed FLL judges and FLL refs. Nick, unmuted.
Yeah, I was Oak Creek should be good on refs now, but still need a few more judges there.
Perfect.
Not a ton, but still need a few.
Cool.
We still need some significant number at Mukwonago for judges for FL that day. So if anybody's willing to go out there, it'd be much appreciated.
Do you know how many you need, Kristen?
We are currently only at 7. So
Out of 15?
Out of 15.
Okay. We're at 12, so
okay.
Both events need people. Sounds like more muck than us, but that's okay. Help, please.
Awesome. All right. So we have the call for help. So that's great. Yeah, that should be good. I'm very confident in both of you, though. I'm sure you'll have an excellent event. We just squeaked through in terms of judges for the FTC event on the 14th. We could use a FTC scorekeeper / AV director. If anyone is available on the 14th for the Frozen Frenzy tournament. And then looking at the list that Peter provided, who's our tournament director for FTC, we are looking for an FTC field inspector for that, the 12-15. So EO, I don't know if you have direct access to potential FTC refs who could also double as field inspectors, but I don't know, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, please help.
You can send out that ask.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. And then the Waukesha sectional is 12:21. Again, I'm not sure. Do we have the JA on the call for the Waukesha sectional, or is that someone else?
That would be one of the Bryans.
Yeah.
I don't think they're on the call right now, but I'm sure they need help.
Okay. All right, so robots all the time. And then I do believe on 12/22, there'll be an alumni brunch. that will take place at a location in Tosa. And so I have to follow up with Allison Conrad, who's been coordinating a lot of the alumni events, just to confirm the specific date and time. But brunch on December 22nd is something that we currently have on the calendar for alumni to get together after they're back over the holidays. And then we have state for FLL at Waukesha on January 19th. We do have a number of FTC events as well, but these are the ones that I currently had requests for. So I shared that information. And then come January 8th, we'll provide additional updates on any other volunteer needs for the area. Hooray! All right. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. We also have some volunteer needs for our upcoming event. So if you are available one of these weekends because you didn't want to do back-to-back events, that's fantastic. We're looking to continue to recruit judges, robot inspectors, scorekeeper, official score, webcast operator, CSA, at our Seven Rivers event. We're also looking for a referee at Phantom Lakes, FTAA, and safety manager as another option for Phantom Lakes. And then our Week 6 Wisconsin event, also looking for a few different options as well. And so Greg did a good job at kind of pulling those different pieces together. If you have any questions or would like to cross-train in those areas, feel free. I'm glad to see that we have a lot of our key volunteer roles filled. I know that CSA role is one that we are looking to expand on. So if you know of any recently graduated first alumni who have a very strong knowledge of the FRC control system, they would make a great CSA. And so if you are willing to reach out to your alumni and ask if any of your former programmers / electronics, diehard students are available to support the event week 4, week 5, that would be fantastic. It'd be a great opportunity for them. All right.
Renee, I'll just do my plug here as one of the regional
Thank you.
chairs.
Yes.
Really, I mean, one of the key areas here for us is to try to develop this as, we're still waiting to hear on the district proposal, but we want to be developing people to be able to develop people across the state to be able to make managing districts better. And so, in particular, robot inspectors, judges are definitely some of the areas that we need to continue to grow from some of the areas in the state that we typically don't have these events. So these regionals are definitely the best way to start to develop those volunteers in those areas to help us with any district potential we might have. So just want to highlight as you go back to the teams, if we can continue to promote that of, going to these events and doing these roles now is going to definitely help us in the next year.
Absolutely. And I think that there's a balance between volunteering or potentially overextending a team, but also like at least making the ask to parents or sponsor organizations who may not be currently involved as volunteers. A lot more people than you think 6 degrees of separation, all of that. And there could just be someone out there that would make an absolutely fantastic safety manager, and you just didn't think of that until we mentioned it on this call. And so that's one of the reasons we kind of keep referencing these different needs. And we really appreciate any thought that you can put into that. Thank you. All right. And then there's QR codes, which is fantastic. I'm pretty sure that Kristen potentially put these together. I know that Allison created the branding for this, but take a look at those QR codes for information on how to register to volunteer, but then also descriptions of the different roles across those different programs. So if you're like, but Renee, what is a CSA? Control System Advisor. Well, I encourage you to scan that FRC descriptions QR code and take a look. And that would be a great thing to send along to your alumni who have a solid understanding of the programming and electronics components on their robots. Yay. All right. Kickoff is coming. There was a blog post about it. This will be a 1-hour broadcast. It'll be hosted on YouTube, which is actually different than in previous years. So that's good to know. You'll want to make sure that you download the encrypted game manual. And so a couple days before kickoff, in order to make sure that your team has access to it, right when you get that encryption, the encryption key, someone help.
Encryption key.
Encryption key? Okay, thank you. This is Renee's cold speaking, so great. All right, and then, really important, read the rules. I know, like, it is one of the things that I struggled with as a student myself. You have to read the rules, at least the game rules day of, and then every section over like the next 1 to 2 days. You really want to make sure that you're not missing any, critical elements or updates that first included in there that would make some type of your strategy not viable. There will be field tour videos on YouTube, which are really awesome extra and additional resources that the FRC staff puts together in order to show you, what the field elements look like this year. In past seasons, in the oldie times, we used to be able to get together and like actually have a field that was built in terms of a practice field. That's no longer possible to do. And so these field tour videos are one of the best options to just get a better understanding of those different elements. And then Greg included a personal tip, which was week 1, starting every meeting that first week, rewatching the 2-minute game reveal video, because as you start to understand the game, you'll notice like new and interesting things each day. And so that's kind of a pro tip related to that. All right. Okay. So last month, we saw this opportunity to shape the future of First Wisconsin. How can you get involved? And a number of people on this call submitted information, which I significantly appreciate. But wait, there's more. So, as a note, the additional pieces of communication that will be going out include a blog post with this information with additional details about it in December. We will be including a QR code for people to sign up via this survey, which will be included in our Wisconsin FRC kickoff updates, which will be shown at our kickoff events, or at least will be requested to be shown at our kickoff events prior to the start of that 1-hour broadcast. And then we'll have a final reminder for how people can get involved on Wednesday, January 8th. This is a great opportunity for people to raise their hand and get involved and be excited about ways to increase access to students for FIRST. Again, you may not have the time or capacity to be able to do that, but please share this information with others, because there may be someone out there who really loves the idea of being able to help write a press release for an event, and I could use that PR and marketing support. Or there could be someone who's really passionate about providing scholarship opportunity information to all of our students and coordinating more scholarship opportunities for kids in the state by working with the different universities and educational institutions is something that someone would be really passionate about. These are some examples. So, as a reminder, we have committees that we're forming, and these committees are in some very specific areas. And if you were here last month, you realized that I definitely added committees. And I was like, well, we already had an advocacy committee. So that's mainly just me pointing out that there is a state advocacy committee. We have the competition committee, which we had talked about last month, related to bid processes and putting and identifying locations for upcoming events for FRC and FTC, regardless of model of play. And then development is in terms of like strategy, increasing event invitations, how are we going to grow locally, workforce engagement, etc. And so these are a couple of examples of like the 3 core things that these groups work on or engage with as it relates to kind of these broad area topics. They're also all color coordinated. Again, Renee's Cold is speaking. I am very proud of the color coordination. Thank you. So the last 3 committees that we have are the engagement committee. And so we had a few members on last month in November talking about the areas that they represent, which is that Seven Rivers region. And then we also have the northwestern part of Wisconsin represented with Ryan. And so we are looking for individuals who are interested in engaging with groups across the state in different areas. So this is your chance where, you know, if you're a social butterfly or if you know a social butterfly, someone who enjoys talking with people and checking in with them and making sure that, you know, the teams are doing okay, they want to share resources, opportunities, and maybe you all would like to get together and host a kickoff event. Those are please tell them that they should join our engagement committee because they could be someone who would be really good at that team support and mentor engagement opportunity. We also have our marketing and communication committee, which is focused on social media, PR and marketing, and website. So if anyone is frustrated that our FRC event website pages are not fully up to date as they should be, I invite you to join the marketing and communications committee to provide some very helpful support in that regard. We also will have our volunteer committee, which will focus on volunteer management and things around recruitment, retention, and recognition. And so typically what that looks like is, you know, how are you going to actually encourage people to join the volunteer funnel? How do you retain volunteers? Like how, for instance, if someone was interested in volunteering in a certain role, Aiden, I'm going to pick on you. Like if you were like, I really want to become an FTA, I would be like, that's great for me to know because I want to make sure that you are able to get experience in scorekeeping, doing field supervising, and you know, lead you essentially into an FTAA role until we're able to kind of move you into that next position. Also, Justin unmuted.
I get unmuted for what?
I don't know. I thought you unmuted. I'm sorry.
No.
I thought you were going to say something about the FTA role. Disregard. Thank you.
Unless if you want me to.
Sure, absolutely. Say something about the
FT
volunteer recruitment process.
Sure.
FTs.
Yeah. I mean, there's always the pipeline, you know, we're just, you know, really in the state of Wisconsin, you know, as we all are saying is, you know, we're expanding the pipeline. It's hard to expand the pipeline if we don't know what's available or who's interested in what. So, you know, definitely this year, you know, looking at the CSAs, looking at the scorekeepers, looking at, you know, going, you know, robot inspectors, who's looking at, you know, lead robot inspector in the future, FTAAs in the future, FTA, etc.
Absolutely. And again, as we continue to grow and increase access to the program, and as the 2 control systems merge together in terms of FRC and FTC, we'll want to continue increasing that pipeline, and you'll have additional opportunities for training. So one of the cool things, or one of the things that I'm really excited about in terms of the community right now, is the fact that if there are really passionate, you know, seniors or juniors, even sophomores that you can see who would love to continue to be involved in the program, there will be opportunities for them to remain engaged, you know, to volunteer at events once they're in college, because we have a need for more events. There is certainly a desire and an appetite for our teams to attend more events. And so it's been really exciting to see that. So lots of opportunity. Hooray. All right. So I don't know what this page is. I think those are most of the current updates, other than I, you know, had a couple specific highlights. If anyone knows an electrician or an electrical engineer, that would be incredibly helpful. I'm currently going through the process of asking people what the difference is between having 5 amps in a pit and 10 amps in a pit, and why they may or may not be different depending on what model of play you are participating in. So if anyone has suggestions around that, that's really helpful to know. But that's kind of one of the examples. And then, of course, the engagement committee, as you noted last year, we have Austin Lee and Ryan in that western side of the state. We'll be looking for individuals across, essentially the southwest, south central portion of the state to engage together. So social butterflies, start thinking of people. But we're looking at ways to make it easier for communities to get together and support each other while also having a really great time, because if you're not having fun, then what are we doing? There we go. And so we are now at the end of our presentation, and I am happy to take questions. And thank you for your patience and my cold during this time. I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. All right. Questions? No questions? Pretty simple reminder so far. All right. Well, that's exciting. Okay, well, let me stop that. There we go.